So it says we're live.
We're live. We're live. Okay.
You want to check all the different streams again?
Yeah, I'm going to the streams.
Yeah, let's just make sure everything's actually live before we get too far into this.
Yeah, man. Just making sure. Cool. We're live. Okay. I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's live there. Oh man, my computer's so much slower.
It's a trio thing. Is it like a trio thing because 3 people are online together?
I think it's just
few days
have
ago,
too many
you did about
tabs.
3% also, right?
Yeah, you can go up to 6 people, but I never do that. Or I've never done that yet. Maybe one day when there's enough people who are interested, we can do that.
You can try that using a coffee session first.
Mm-hmm.
Test run.
Yeah. Hold on. So, video.
I'm gonna share this on my personal page.
It should be on your personal page, right?
You can share this link anywhere.
No, like on my own Facebook.
Oh, yeah. So then
Anyone can view it.
Anyone can view it, but only the people who are in the personal finance Facebook group can actually leave a comment for us to show here. And if they were to leave a comment on either Reggie's Facebook page or my Facebook page, then we can actually have people. We can actually show that as well. But besides that, everything else, if anyone leaves comments anywhere else, we won't know unless we actually are following it. But I definitely do not have the capability to manage so many.
Fair.
Anyway,
I believe there will be a lot of insurance agent out there that will help me out.
Share the word. Yeah.
Anyway, so this is the first time we're going live with 3 people. So Denion, thank you so much for being the guinea pig for this. Really appreciate it. We already have people waving to us.
Nice.
Where do you see it?
Oh, on this. So yeah, if anyone leaves a comment in that Facebook group, we can actually pull up their comments here. So this person just.
So I need to maneuver between this and the Facebook page, right?
So yeah, you're not responsible for anything. Reggie's not responsible for anything. I'm the one responsible for making sure we get this flowing.
Yep, that's cool.
Yeah. But so for those who are watching, thanks so much for joining us today. So today we have the pleasure of having Denion, who is an insurance agent with Manulife right now, and also past year CFP graduate. I guess starting there, what exactly is a CFP graduate? What does that mean?
Basically, CFP is a certification recognized by 22 or 23 countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the only difference between CFP and RFP is a local one.
Oh, okay.
It's recognized in Malaysia, but CFP is recognized by 22 countries. 22.
Interesting.
I've forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean that I think Singapore recognizes CFP too?
Yes, correct.
Mean that you can actually
Singapore, England, US, Australia, Canada.
Yeah. So I'm curious. Does that mean that you can actually sell insurance and plan do financial planning for Singaporeans? Is that kind of how it works, or is it just an accreditation to prove that you know what you're doing?
I believe it's just an accreditation, but
okay.
Let's say at the moment I did do financial planning for, let's say, Singaporeans or Canadians CS working here in Malaysia. But in terms of working outside Singapore, because I'm not familiar with the law regulation over there, so it's very hard for me to also advise and stuff like that.
Okay,
because of the products, insurance products. Yeah.
So then what would you normally advise someone about if let's say if you were to work with Reggie, what types of conversation would actually be beneficial for Reggie to actually have you talk to them?
Basically, it comes to I would say some basic fundamentals what is his current financial situation like, what is the goals that he wants to achieve, or whether I have a scenario one of my client which want to work overseas for until she retired, then she came back, something like that. Yeah, so
Ah,
basically I will ask like what are the financial objectives that you want to meet, then how far is he from there. Then from there I will also ask, let's say if he wants to achieve whatever goals he wants in Singapore, then I will ask like what are the products available there that will help him. Then to me,
Mm.
my job is just to help him to chart out whether is it achievable or not. If it is not, then what can we do? Something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question. I hope I don't get caught because of this question, but I live here on a social visit pass. Right, so I don't actually have like a long term visa stay. Okay,
Okay.
so I hope I can still continue staying after I say this. But anyway, yes. So then, would that make me eligible for any kind of coverage here? Because I'm spending most of my time here. You know, I do go back every month for a while, a week or two, but I spend most of my time here. Do I, am I able to get any kind of coverage here in
Do you
Malaysia?
have a working permit or
No, that's the question. No.
working visa?
In the process.
In the process. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as of now, I'm on social visit pass, right? So I think that's the question.
Yeah. So what is the longest stay you have
30
like
days.
in Malaysia?
30 days.
30 days. Then
Yeah.
it's difficult to apply here.
Okay.
Normally for what I will advise is uh for because you are Singaporean working here, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so in this case normally it's better to have like working permit from the employer.
Yeah, of course. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm not
then,
exactly I'm not exactly working, but yeah,
yeah,
we're trying to get a pass. So whoever government out there you're listening, don't send me back, okay? But I
your
think I think
employer is Malaysian,
uh,
Malaysian
we're
employer.
we are registering a company here, so I think that will help.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay.
I think that the question comes from because I know you know Johor is growing very very fast, right? They're building a lot of apartments, and there's actually a lot of Singaporeans that are contemplating staying in Johor,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like they may be like when they want to retire in Johor, or they want to spend more time in Johor because they're like freelancers and they don't want to like just pay the kind of Singapore rates, right? So then they can come back and forth because this is very prevalent in Shenzhen and Hong Kong, right? And so I think it is a growing thing. More and more people I'm hearing are exploring staying in Johor, and that's why most of them will probably be on a social visit pass, and then they kind of come back and forth, right? So I think that's where my question come from. So I think you already gave me the answer, which means that as long as I'm not here on a longer term like work visa or an
Yes.
entrepreneur visa or whatever visa, then essentially I am not able to get any kind of coverage, right?
If
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So I need to
So
be more
unless
careful
those
these days.
who are staying here longer term, working
Mm,
longer term, like
mm,
more than a year or so,
mm,
yeah, then it sounds more, I would say, reasonable for them to get a coverage here because they don't always fly back often.
mm.
Yeah, stuff
Cool.
like that.
Thanks for
All
sharing.
right.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I guess
If there's
let's dig in.
anyone that can help me to answer, yeah, I hope they can drop a comment.
Yes,
Yeah.
please leave any comments or any thoughts along the way. I am definitely, my main job at today, I think, is to make sure I keep on top of all the different comments that are coming in. But I guess just the first question, I guess, related to like insurance. Um, so COVID, it seems like a lot of different insurance companies are doing something. You actually shared with me a kind of a little chart. I'm just going to try sharing here, and it shows up pretty well.
Yeah.
So, I haven't actually looked
Wow.
at this yet.
Hey, you might
So,
want to give a credit to this financial firm who did it.
Mm.
this is this Advanced Financial Advisory.
Yes.
All right, credit to them. Thank you guys so much for helping us create this. But let's talk more about it. What is this about, right?
Mm.
I guess we're not going to go through line by line, but what's the general summary of what types of
Okay.
what else insurance companies start doing?
Okay. Basically, the main thing that insurance company do is giving financial assistance out to their policy holders.
Mhm.
So the main coverage that they will give is, let's say, death benefit due to COVID. Okay, they will give a extra special coverage for that, and also the hospitalization benefits. For example, let's say if I'm admitted due to COVID-19, is there any additional benefits on top of what my medical card can give me? Something like that. Is something extra from whatever they have now with the insurance company.
Okay, so let's just use this example, AIA here, right?
The first
So
one.
let's say with AIA, let's say I already have insurance with them. I currently get 200 ringgit a day for hospitalization, right?
Yes.
So with this, that means I can get up to 400 a day for the first 30 days, right? And then after that, I go to the 30-day back to my normal rate, right?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Okay, basically what okay, let's say I will take let's take AIA for example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say during this period of time, let's say the period stated is until June 30th, right?
Yeah.
So from now until June 30th, let's say if I'm a policyholder of AIA, so let's say if I'm diagnosed with COVID-19 and I pass away due to the reason. So on top of whatever death coverage I have, I will get additional of 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
This is under the special coverage, the first line
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the death benefit. Okay, and then the second one, let's say if I'm admitted to the hospital due to COVID-19 for treatment or whatsoever,
Yeah.
but the only criteria is I need to be diagnosed with COVID-19. So I will get an additional of 200 ringgit per day as a cash allowance.
Okay.
Yes, up to 30 days maximum. That's all.
Oh, so this is cash allowance.
Cash
This is
allowance.
not
Yeah,
actually staying in the hospital or anything.
no. So let's say for example, let's take a scenario. Let's say I'm admitted um, due to COVID-19 for 7 days.
Yeah.
So after 7 days, I'm okay. I'm discharged already.
Yeah.
So I will be able to file a claim to claim these 7 days, 200 per day allowance times 7. So I will get 1,004 ringgit
Yeah.
on top of
So,
whatever coverage that I currently have, my
okay.
medical coverage, stuff like that. Yeah.
But we need to be in the hospital, right? Because it's
Yes.
hospitalization benefit.
Yes.
Okay. So you got to
That's the
check in.
criteria. You need to be hospitalized, and it is must be due to COVID-19.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have a question. It's more like why are insurance companies doing this? Right? Is it like a government initiated kind of thing, or is it like a private initiated kind of thing, or I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to understand why.
Yeah. Okay. I believe that basically what insurance the main reason I think is because insurance company also wants to like take a step to to assure all of the policyholder that they are doing something in the midst of all this havoc and stuff like that. Maybe also one of the reason is also because to gain policyholders trust, like at least okay, for example, Great Eastern is also offering like 1 million assistance. So all this coverage, they do have a quota, they do have a limit on that, which is up until the 1 million cash is used up. Yeah, so basically I think they want to help whoever that is really diagnosed with COVID-19. They want to give they just want to give special coverage on top of that.
Okay.
At least
Okay.
insurance companies are doing something to take care of their policyholders, stuff like that.
Cool. Cool. And is this like a international movement kind of thing? Because a lot of these companies are all international.
Oh, okay. For
Right.
for this at the moment, this that is listed here is only for Malaysians. Even though
Okay.
certain companies are international companies
Mm, mm.
like AIA, Prudential, but this I believe other countries they do have different benefits for their people over there. But
That's
this
cool.
is mainly for Malaysians.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
I actually have another question here. What if, so I guess I'm looking at like, AXA, for example.
Yes.
Do you need to have a specific medical card with them, or can you have like travel insurance with them?
Um, I believe this is covered under life insurance only, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So long you have a life insurance policy with them, then they will issue all these benefits for you. Let's say if you are diagnosed with COVID-19.
Yeah.
This is what I understand from Great Eastern, Prudential, AIA. So long you have a policy with them. Yeah,
Okay.
not necessary it must be a medical card also.
Interesting.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's good to see, I guess, different organizations step up in this mess,
So
right?
based on the question
Yeah.
now, right? You can see the eligibility at the last column.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see certain things are mentioned. For example, let's say I take Tokyo Marine, the one after
Tokyo
Manulife,
Marine.
right?
Yep, here.
Yeah, so you will see that eligibility, right, is policyholder with enforced policy. So let's say if I only bought a life policy, not a not a policy with medical card, I will
Yeah.
also be entitled with this benefit if I'm diagnosed with COVID-19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I know you're representing Manulife, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So are you seeing like policy switches? Are people switching over to you, or is any one of your clients shifting out to another company because of all these? Yeah, I'm quite curious.
I think shifting out is not because of just the coverage for COVID-19. To me, what I experience is most people switches out. Of course, mainly is because of agent, the people that serves them. The second is a company. Then the third, they will look at the benefits, the premiums that they're paying, whether is it worth it or not, or stuff like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. So you proclaim that you're a good agent, right?
Say, not really everyone is switching to me. Some people also switch out also. Yeah, because end of the day they will buy from people they are comfortable with, that they trust. Yeah. So my job here is to me, I really just want to build a trust with my client. That's all.
And how do you go
Because if
about
there's
doing
no
that?
trust, it's very difficult to discuss also.
Definitely, right? And how do you go about doing that? How do you build trust, with your clients? I think everybody has their own ways to understand. I'm quite curious how you do that.
Okay, basically the okay, to me, trust and relationship is something you need to put time to build. Okay, I spend a lot of time building relationship with my clients, with my friends, and everyone around me. You need to put time. To me, putting time and effort is the way to build trust. There's no shortcut or whatsoever. Yeah. So let's say, for example, if today this client wouldn't want to buy from me, to me it's simple as I haven't really built the trust enough with him that he want to engage me to serve him in his insurance policy. Because I have few clients that until now they're not my client. I do a lot of claims for them, even though they come from different companies, for example, Prudential, AXA, AIA. But some they do not even but purchase from me yet. It's okay with that, because to me
Okay.
my mission is to make sure um, the purpose of people buying insurance is they want to make sure they can claim when there's a need, right?
Yeah.
To me, so long I can help them to claim whatever they want, because this kind of mine is very special. She has AXA Affin policy, she has Prudential policy, but both her one of the agent is no longer in the industry, so it's automatically passed to her manager, right? Then another from Prudential, her agent don't want to help her to claim. So as a friend, the only
What's
thing is
that?
it's very complicated story. So as a friend,
Okay.
she consult me and I say, why not let's just try to claim it, because the
Mm.
agent insists that it cannot be claimed. Okay, so let's just file the claim. I download the form, fill up together with her, compile all the documents, and with all the frustration she has, I solve the problem, take her to Prudential some more, submit the claim, and the claim is approved. Yeah, so there are cases like that. So to me, is building trust is through that. Yeah, there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut at all.
Cool. So does that mean that actually people can do their own claims and manage their own insurance policies?
Yeah, can actually they
All
can.
right. So is that becoming more and more of a trend? Like are people bypassing agents and going straight to the insurance companies?
Okay, as of now, buying you mean buying or servicing?
Like just straight away buy from the company and then self-service, those kind of stuff?
Okay, for buying, right? I believe if you do walk into the company, they will just ask you to purchase online instead.
Okay.
Or the customer service will always say you either go to an agent or you buy online. You cannot walk in and buy because all the application is through online. Of course, there are limited products in terms of online. It will be simple like term life products, very low annual limit, standalone medical card and stuff like that. So basically, the benefits given online, especially medical card, it cannot be compared with the one that the agents are selling.
Cool.
So in terms of servicing, right? Sometimes it's sad to see that when you walk up to any insurance company, the customer service department, right? There's a lot of customer sitting there waiting for their turn. So sometimes it's very sad to see that they are still servicing themselves. Yeah, there are cases like that also.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually going to ask more about that whole, buying online or and self-service and versus or doing the whole self-service piece versus going through an insurance, right? Because I guess when you self-service, the process of buying, of course, you might save a bit of money. I don't know how much. Do you know roughly what the difference might be, or is it's just not a fair comparison?
I would say that is to me, I don't see any much like significant difference in terms of that.
Okay.
When it
Okay. Because
comes to life, even term life, right? Because to me, the rate is okay. How this is like there's a certain rate fixed like per 1,000 ringgit face amount, like life insurance amount are the rates. So it's still based on the rates to sell. I mean, to judge the premium.
okay,
Then in terms of medical card, it's not fair to compare because the annual limit, I mean the benefits in to those that buy online, right? The benefits is very low compared to the
Yeah.
ones sold by agents. So I cannot compare it that way also.
Yeah, because I was going to say, even though there might be some sort of savings, and someone please, if you're watching or whatever, and you have some experience in this, would love to hear your thoughts. But the way I look at it is you might be saving a bit upfront, but then when you actually need to claim it or go through that process, I think that's really the point when you actually need the insurance, right? And if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're already struggling through whatever it is, and you don't have the mental capacity to do it, then having that insurance doesn't really serve you, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay. To me, it really depends because like what I say just now, those that bought from agents. Now the thing is uh, whether the agents can help you to settle all these things or not is something that is not guaranteed as well, right? Like what I face, I mean that my friend is facing. She has two agents, but the agents are doing nothing, stuff like that. Of course, I would say that not all agents are like that. Okay, there are bad apples in the industry, right? Like when it comes to claim, then there's delay, there is not helping to submitting, not helping to claim or stuff like that. Because I myself encounter a few friends that have such bad experience before.
Yeah.
Just that's where I step in. I help them, whether they buy or not. That one is the latest story, right? But
Yeah.
to me, my goal is to help them to solve their frustration, to make sure that they don't go through all this hassle and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, because
okay.
sorry, just wanted to add, or was there something you want to add there, Reggie? Or okay, so when you say someone let's say this example where this person has bought from an agent, and then the agent, when it comes to actual claiming, this agent doesn't want to get involved or whatever, is there any recourse that this person can have, or this person should be aware of hey, I'm going to start reporting these bad apples so that ultimately, they clean out the system almost. Is there
You
anything
mean
like that?
you mean the customer can report or not?
Yeah, can the customer report the agent for not supporting or whatever it might be?
Yeah, basically, of course, policy as a customer, as a policy holder, they definitely can report it to the
Yeah.
company. But what, let's say in this case of not servicing well, in terms of bad servicing, right? The most also, company will only send a warning letter to the agent.
Oh,
Yeah, we won't take any because this is not under like compliance issue or whatsoever.
Yeah.
So basically, these are considered very very minor complaint, not the big one like for example, cheating the client's money, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of claiming that side is very subjective.
Hmm.
It's very subjective. Yeah.
But I think the client would think that this is a major issue, right?
Yes. To
I don't
client is like is yes correct.
Yeah.
But to us agents is very minor. Yeah, actually it's very
Hmm.
minor because it's sometimes it's really very subjective to judge whether how good an agent can service client,
Hmm.
because it depends on certain clients are more demanding maybe. Yeah.
Fair. And you
At
know
least
how, yeah, you know how like there are actually three parties involved in this, right? The end user, the insurer, and then the agency in between, right? This whole
yes.
process, right? And I think we dabble a little bit on like how some agents they don't service that well. There are bad apples in the market, right? And
Mm.
I think the general understanding is the agent turnover rate is quite high, right?
Yep.
Not many people stay because it's quite a brutal industry. It's not so easy. Like
Is
you
it the
gotta
same in
build.
Singapore as well?
Yeah, man. It's like I always tell my friends don't ever buy from the new guys, right? Because they they have
But
not gone.
I start from zero also.
Exactly. So that's the idea, right? What I tell people is like, don't buy from the new guys. There will always be people out there that will give them a chance, right? But we as a consumer, financial consumer ourselves, we gotta have our own standards that we abide by, right? So personally, I don't ever look for the new guys because they have not gone through like the 3-5 year kind of grudge to prove that they will be around, right? So
Yeah.
like what you say, a lot of agents end up quitting, and then the policy end up becoming like dangling around, right? Pass to the manager or get lost within this whole thing.
Yeah.
So I think these days there's a trend moving towards a lot of digital platform,
Yes.
right? Like how people can like buy directly on the digital platform,
Yes.
or these kind of policy exchanges. Right? So what are your thoughts on that? And do you see more and more people going there? And is it affecting your business? So 3 questions.
Okay. To me, let's say, okay, what's your first question again?
Wait, even I forget my question.
How about the second one?
The three question.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 questions. So the first question is, I think you see a trend of people going on to all these digital platforms, right? So what are your thoughts on all these digital platforms? All right, so let's
Okay.
start there. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say for digital platforms. Okay. To me is simple insurance products like life insurance. Um, if budget is a problem, let's say budget is the issue, then you can go for a very at least a very basic medical card online, which you can purchase directly online. Yeah. Then in this case, to me, it's not the issue, because to me,
Okay.
like what I said just now, to me is the very fundamental is from the financial planning point of view.
Mm.
The most important thing to me is whether so long client or my friends or consumers know what they are getting for themselves,
Mm.
then to me that is the most important thing. So
Cool.
whether what about let's say what about talk about the coverage that they need, right? Then it comes to the financial planning angle, whether how much life insurance they actually want for themselves and for their own needs. Then if that's the case, to me is I will compare, is it more worth it to buy it online? So I'll factor in the long-term premium that you will be paying, compared to if you are buying a term insurance from the insurance company through the agent, or maybe an investment link, stuff like that. I will compare and weigh it first before I come to a judgment of which is the best solution. Yeah,
Fair.
this is the
Fair.
first question.
Yeah. Okay. And then you see like I think this is always how a lot of tech industries when they try to take over industry, they always start with the easier ones, right? Like what it says on the easier policies, like medical card,
Yes.
simple insurance, right? And they will slowly move towards the more complex kind of stuff. I think
Mm,
that is kind of how most tech companies they start. They serve a very small, simple function, and then they will
mm,
go deeper and deeper and try to grapple the market, right? So,
mm.
are you concerned about this, or is there any way? Do you see the agent being able to integrate with a lot of these kind of digital platforms going forward? Right.
Mm.
So I think a lot of agents are quite concerned. When I talk to some of my friends,
Yeah.
when they do when they do financial planning, they do estate planning, insurance, all these kind of stuff. It's like a everyone is blaming everyone. Like the agents don't like the digital platforms don't like the agents, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see what are your thoughts, and do you see that there's an ecosystem where everyone can thrive here?
Okay, to me, right, I would say instead of blaming each other, I think it is better that we appreciate each other in a way, because me myself, I also use technology software to plan for my clients, and of course this technology software, I'm not sure whether you heard before or not, called Ghost Mapper. Okay, yeah, is not something that a normal consumer will subscribe and use it, because it's very very complicated, and it comes with a lot of financial terms. Okay, so I believe that maybe I think technology somehow will help consumers to a certain level, but when it comes to advice, then yeah, maybe you still need the advisor to comes in and give the advice. The only problem is whether the consumer will buy it from you or not. That's the thing. Let's say for example, there are a lot of financial advisor out there, right? You can get advice from the financial advisor, or maybe you can get, if not even from one, maybe from two advisor, and compare the plan they have for the consumer. Then only they proceed, like what are the best option for them. Then whether they get their products online or from the advisor or from other agents, then it is still based on who they want to engage with. Of course, I would say as a human being, they will still engage with people that they trust the most first. Yeah, that's my point of view lah, in terms of that.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. So we actually have a few questions. When I announced that that you were going to come on, we actually had two different questions that people were interested in asking. So the first one here is, can a financial planner represent a few insurance companies? Will they be biased or based on what needs and wants? So I guess
okay. I think I saw the comment right in the Facebook.
Yep.
Okay, basically, me myself, I made a couple of friends that are financial advisors representative from different financial advisory firms. Okay,
Yeah.
so to me, right, whether they will be biased or not, I would say they will still come to a point that they will plan for the client first. And after speaking to different financial advisor representative, they themselves actually have, I would say not say bias, they will have a few insurance company that they will prefer to deal with. But of course, they will always put clients' needs and the clients' wants first.
Yeah.
Then only they will recommend. And of course, not all financial planner can sell all insurance companies' product. Let's say because we have two licenses, right? One is the CMSRL and one is the FAR, the financial advisor representative. So if if you are engaging with the financial advisor representative, then yes, on hand they will have multiple insurance companies product like Great Eastern, AIA. The common one are Prudential, Allianz,
Yeah.
HLA, yeah, stuff like that. If you are talking to the CMSRL license one, then they will mostly they can sell investment product from multiple company, like from different fund house. But in terms of insurance, they must have a FAR license. We call it FAR for short term.
Okay.
Yeah, for FAR, then only they are licensed. They have the license to sell all different multiple insurance companies product. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So you have the FAR, right?
No, I
So
don't have
then,
that. That's why
oh,
I'm
you don't.
attached to one. Yeah, that's why I'm attached to one company.
Okay. So in order to sell across the board, you have to take that license.
Yes, if you have a FAR, you cannot be attached to any insurance company as an agent.
Okay. That's interesting.
Oh, so that means if you have an FAR, you can't just still work under Manulife, right? You will have to essentially create your own little business at that point. No
Basically,
real man.
when you are a FAR, you are attached to one financial advisory firm.
Okay.
whereby this financial advisory firm, it acts like a broker to sell different products from different insurance companies. Yeah,
Mm,
so you are not directly attaching to one insurance company as an agent. You are directly attached to the financial advisory firm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the case. Yeah.
So tell me what you think about this. So based off our conversation so far, the whole conversation of how do we find someone we can trust or advisors that will be here the long term, right? To get an FAR sounds like it's going to be a lot more work. So the person must be a lot more committed to staying in this industry. Um, what So from that perspective, wouldn't people be better off just dealing with FARs because they at that point they're like, yes, I know this person, has put the time, effort, energy, and it's not here just to make a quick dollar or two, but it's here to grow, themselves or grow their, stay in this industry for their life. Or do you see a lot of people who are FARs actually leave the industry still?
You mean leave as in quit the industry?
Yeah.
Mm, very hard to comment on that. Okay.
Sensitive.
Okay. Basically, financial FAR, they mainly, because they do a lot of financial planning. Their
Yeah.
core is still doing financial planning. Then basically the investment products, especially unit trust, then the insurance plans that they're going to sell is just the tools that they will help the client to achieve their goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So FAR, the main thing is still, to me, is charging advisory fee to the client.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will be more like fee based and a little bit of com based.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Cool.
if I would say, if I'm in the FAR shoe, I will definitely do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. To charge advisory fee. Yeah.
Hmm.
And not
Okay.
necessary that I must sell products, because maybe throughout the planning, I will just recommend my client to buy something online, like the insurance product online, like a simple term life stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fair. So I think the question was like, can you sell from different company, right? The different kind of products. So you already answered like legislatively you cannot because you don't have the
Yeah.
license, right?
I can
Then
only sell Manulife product. That's all.
exactly because you're attached to Manulife, right? So I think
Yeah.
I asked this question to a lot of my other insurance friends also. So I mean, when you first start, you essentially do sales, right? You do financial sales. You sell, 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 and
Yeah.
then after a while, you become more and more understanding of the industry, and you take your licensing, like you're accredited, so you become a lot clearer about how this whole thing works. Fair,
Mm,
right? So
mm.
then you reach a level where you start to realize that maybe the product that you have on hand is like across the industry is only number two or like number three. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like if you work with Manulife, some products are very good. It trumps everyone else. Some products maybe it's like AIA actually has a better product because you are in the industry long enough.
Yeah.
Right. So then how do you come to that then? Like would you
At,
still
at my current
yeah,
situation, right?
yeah, how will you reconcile that? Because it's like ethics and bread.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so
I
yeah.
do understand what you mean, because okay, like for now, how I work is, let's say for example, I know certain for example, some of my clients, they really like Allianz medical card, for example. So what I can do the most is, of course, I will always, to me, there's no best medical card in the market. Okay, if there's the best, definitely, this company would definitely dominate the whole market, right? It with his own medical card. So to me, there's no best. I will always find out what the client actually wants from the medical card first. Okay, let's say for Allianz in specific. Okay, so for Allianz, if this client of mine, he has a lot of family cancer history and all, so maybe in for him for he for this client's own shoes, Allianz medical card is really very comprehensive to him, because they really have extensive, like, outpatient cancer treatment, and they are the only one that have it at the moment. So if my client is, let's say if he's okay that, okay, I insist I want to get the Allianz one. then how I will do is I cannot sell to him, right? So I will recommend one of the Allianz friend that I know to him. That's all. That's all that I will do.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Because
cool.
so far I do have friends that bought from Allianz, bought from AIA that I recommend one. But to me is when it comes to life insurance, then it's more of quite standard, like death, TBD, stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Okay.
Of
Well,
course, I won't limit my friend to only buy from me lah. Of course, to me, I'm open as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. So the other question we have here is, what are the pros and cons of an investment linked plan? So I guess before you even before we
This
even
is
dig
the
into this.
the most legendary question of all times.
Legend.
So, before we dig into the pros and cons, let's start with what exactly is an investment linked plan, or what people like to say ILP. What does that mean?
Okay, basically ILP is okay. Just imagine you have standalone medical card, you have term life insurance, you have PA, all separately bought. Okay, investment link is something that you have one policy that you have all these benefits together, merged into one policy that can uh, that can covers you up until 99 years old. Of course, some benefits won't. For example, PA they mostly only cover up until 70. Some cover until 65. Okay, so you have all this in one plan, right?
Yeah.
And it goes for a long run, 99 years old. Let's say for life insurance and medical insurance, these two are the ones that people want it to run until 99, right? So to cover the high medical costs when one person gets older, let's say at the age of 60 and above.
Mhm.
So uh, just one particular medical standalone medical card can cost up to 6,000 ringgit premium a year to 10,000 when it reaches like 70 years old plus. So the question is whether are we ready to pay this high amount when we reach that age. So the this problem is solved by buying ILP now, because you are actually paying more at the moment to cover the high future costs in the future. Yeah, so that's how ILP actually works. It's not for investment. I also don't like the term investment link because it really mislead the consumers that buying this is for investment purpose, but actually it's not. Yeah, because if that's why starting 1st January 2020,
Yeah.
it's more transparent, showing that when the policy reaches like 70, 80 years old, right, the cash value inside is almost zero, almost, if the premium is not high enough to cover up until the age lah.
Yeah.
So unless the customer is paying a lot now, then yes, you will show that at 70, 80 years old, they will still have cash value, but it's not as much as the other normal pure investment vehicle lah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So so what are your own thoughts about people getting ILPs, or versus, what are their alternatives if they decide that they don't want ILP, but they don't want to end up spending 6,000 or 10,000 and when they're 60.
Okay, to me, right, uh, it depends on the purpose of buying the insurance first.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find out this one particular, I would say, the reason of buying first, then only to determine which is the best solution for the customer.
Can
Okay,
you give us an example as like what that means? Like, what are some different reasons for people to buy
let's
insurance?
say I give an example. Let's say if you are getting something short term, I would say that term life will be more cost effective. Of course, it depends on scenario basis. Okay. I will take my own scenario as example. I get myself a term life. Okay, this term life is only covering me for these 17 years, whereby it is only specifically for my kids' education in case I'm not around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So with this term with this very clear term and the coverage amount that I need to cover for my kids' education when they reaches 18, right? So from here I can dig out like, okay, what are the the choices that I have, whether I want to go for term life, whether I want to go for investment link or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I compare it, term life is really very cheap. Like one a year, I'm paying like less than 500 for like how much it cover? 120K coverage, yeah.
Okay.
And it's only for 17 years, which means when my kids reach 18 years old, I'm very sure that I do not need this particular life insurance to cover them anymore,
Yeah.
for especially for the education part. So when I have this clear term coverage that I need, I can determine whether investment link is more suitable for this goal or term life. So
Okay.
I will compare based on the needs of buying the insurance first.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I guess in that scenario, like, yeah, most people probably don't really need life insurance after their kids are, you know, grown up and making their own income, right?
Independent, yeah.
Because yeah, but at the same time, that's probably when they start needing like access to medical cards, right? Because that's also more likely when they, well, I mean, that's at the point of time where they'll be like more likely to need to go to the, use it for like hospitalization or whatever other things that might come with old age, right? So in that scenario, like for people who need medical cards, then like what are their options?
Okay, you mean as in based on scenario basis or how?
Yeah, so if they don't go through an investment link plan,
Mhm.
like what are their medical card options?
The only if it's not medical, if it's not investment link, then they will just get a standalone one.
Okay, and that
Where
standalone.
the benefits for most insurance company are almost the same. For
Okay,
example, the rider in, okay, let's say I take Great Eastern and AIN for example,
yeah,
the rider in the medical rider in the investment link plan from Great Eastern is the same as the one in standalone.
okay,
The only maybe there will be difference in the charges. For standalone, the charges is slightly higher compared to the one in the ILP rider,
yeah,
but the benefits wise they are the same.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's I guess that's the last question I have, or the last question that we've gotten from the audience so far. So if anyone's watching, or for those who are watching rather, we do know that there are a few of you out there. Please leave any comments or questions that you might have, and Daniel will try to answer it in the next 10 minutes or so.
No, inside there's a lot of insurance agent. I don't have to worry about that. Maybe there are more senior than me. They are more knowledgeable than me. Of course, I'm in the learning process as well. That we learn from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason why I know a few of the financial advisor from other firms, stuff like
Hmm.
that. I also learn from them in terms of other companies' product because different people have different point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Reggie, do you have any questions you wanted to ask there?
Yeah, so I think these days there are more and more people that are like a gig worker, right? Like they drive Grab, or they are, they do like remote working. I think it's becoming more and more of a trend, right? So then so in actual sense, this kind of income it's not very stable,
Mm-hmm.
right? So sometimes it's you get more, sometimes you don't get as much, so then how does someone that is a gig worker, like they drive Grab or they do all these kind of remote work, how should they cover themselves then? Is
Okay,
there
so
like a flexible plan, or how does that work? I'm not sure.
okay, in terms of flexible plan, there's no flexible plan, like it changes
Mm.
through based on his income. So I will do a very very basic fundamental planning. For example, like how much does he needs for his very very basic living expenses per month? Because to me there's a few levels of planning. The most fundamentals one are just to cover your basic expenses, like my how much I need to eat, how much for me to buy the necessary stuff that I need it for my daily usage, stuff like that. That is to me that's the minimal. then from there, then I will try to come up with something. For example, like how long. Let's say, for example, if something happened to you and you're not able to work, so how long do you want this thing to cover you? Like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. If it's TBD, of course, it is a forever thing already. Then let's say, for example, if you're diagnosed with illness, then how long do you want to take? How long period do you want to take to recuperate from your illness? Is it 3 years, 5 years? Normally, I will suggest at least 5 years or so. Of course, it's still based on client's needs. Let's say, for example, if this client say, I want it to have at least 8 years, then it's my job to like come up with the calculation of, okay, how much based on your monthly expenses today for 8 years, factor in with all the inflation and all, then I'll come up with the full amount. Okay, this is the sum of amount that you need for your coverage. Yeah, that's how I come up with.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, thanks.
Thanks for the question, man. Very good
Yeah.
one.
I think it's a trend, right? More and more people are becoming gig workers. More and more people are working remote, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is something that we need to talk about, right? Because income is not stable, right? How then do we still protect our bottom line? What kind of insurance and all these kind of stuff. Yeah,
Correct.
cool. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
So sorry, last question.
Come.
So we actually met through Reddit. When I was, at that point, I was just scrolling through Reddit, seeing who the super active people were, right? And I noticed that you were definitely like one of the most active ones, very transparent, and just how open to helping anyone with any questions, regardless of what company it was, right? During your time, I don't know if do you still use Reddit often, or have you kind of stopped a bit?
Reddit? No,
Sorry,
I'm
not Reddit.
Lawyer.
Oh yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Local version.
The Reddit
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. So do you still
I'm
use Lawyer often, or have you kind of slowed
I'm
down?
still active there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that like the most common question you see being asked there?
The most common question is always which is the best medical card, and another would be like one of the one just now, some of the pro and con of the IRP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, whether a very common question that is like, should I buy standalone term medical card or IRP, something like that. It is always a never ending arguable question, this one, to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
to me, my job is I think why consumers have that question is also mainly because it is the agents that keep telling them that, okay, this can be used as an investment purpose.
Yeah.
Then it comes up with all the confusion. For example, after they bought over some time, why my cash value actually uh, is even lesser than the capital that I put in? Capital.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually it's very misleading. That's why the question is always there. So to me, I will always comes down to educating them how actually ILP works first.
Mm-hmm.
Then to me, I will always tell them, ILP, if you are going to hold this ILP plan up until the end of the term, which is
Yeah.
like 80 years old, 70 years old, or even 99 years old,
Yeah.
end
Yeah.
of the day, this plan will give you zero in terms of cash value. It will give you nothing.
Yeah.
So to me, ILP, you buy the only benefit that ILP I think that it can give is with the premium that you are paying now, you can try to maximize your benefit in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
compared to term life. Yeah, term life and standalone. You can
Okay.
maximize whatever benefit you have first,
Yeah.
but of course the cost of insurance in the future will be expensive as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no right or
Perfect.
wrong. To me, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It comes down to the personal planning of the financial planning of the client.
Yeah. And I guess last thing here then, based off that, for those who might be interested in working with you or having a conversation about their own situation, how do they go about doing that? Is there a place we should direct them, or are you gonna?
Drop a message to my page.
Okay. And what is your page here?
My page. Wait, let me share it with you. You can drop a message. Then I have a contact number inside. This is my page.
Hold on here.
Yeah, are you going to share it to the message?
Yeah, I was gonna share it.
Mm.
So it's facebook.com/engage with Denion. So
Yes,
I'll just
correct.
put that here. Oh, I can't do that here. We'll put it out in the comments and everything else afterwards. Hold on. But yeah, I think that is it. Any last questions or any last thoughts, Denion?
No so far.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I really come in unprepared.
No, you did great. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us here and sharing a lot of your expertise. And if for anyone who's interested in working with him, we will be getting essentially his notes or his Facebook page out so that you can contact him directly. And tomorrow we will be, I'm not sure who we're talking to tomorrow. Oh, actually, yeah, we're talking with a trader, and we'll talk about the difference between trading and investing. And also we'll probably end up talking a bit about REITs as well, because he's also pretty active in REITs. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. And thank you guys so much.
Okay, thank you.
See ya.
See you.